All right, so I've been using this new tractor, this Kioti NS 4710, for a couple of weeks now. I've put about 10 hours, I think, on it. So not a ton of hours, right? We're still pretty new to it, but getting a good feel for it. Figured I would give a little update on what we've been using it for and what I think so far. So as you can see right now, we have the grapple on it. We've been using the grapple extensively. I did use the bucket, the standard bucket, because I dug out a new garden bed down by our gardens to put some corn in. It's a temporary trial plot. Sorry, the roosters are being really loud, but it's just a small plot that we're gonna use temporarily this year and then really build it up next year. But the bucket worked great. With the wider bucket compared to my old Mahindra, it is like day and night better than the old small Mahindra that I had. So I was in like a subcompact tractor before. That was a 22 horsepower Mahindra E-Max. I liked it. It was a great tractor, but it just wasn't heavy enough and it wasn't powerful enough. Some of the things that we talked about previously is that, if we wanted to plow, because of the weight of the tractor wasn't so high, if the snow was deep, it would get stuck a lot. And I didn't have hydraulics on the front, right? So like a third function, which I have on this one. You can see like that's how the hydraulics connect in. And then there's a kit that installed and controlled inside the cab there. So those allow me to have hydraulic attachments on the front, like this grapple. So the old one, of course, did not have that, and I couldn't have a grapple. We would try to lift logs with the old one, but because it was so light, you had to be really careful and you could not pick up a big log. And you had to like ratchet strap it to the bucket, which was inefficient and slow. So yeah, these guys, if they would shut up, it would be great. So I apologize for them being so loud. But we've got the grapple on this and it's been great. So we had a big pile of softwoods over here when we had our land logged a year and a half ago. The logger left some of the smaller logs here, stuff that he couldn't bring to the mill, and piled those up. So we moved those because I've never really liked them where they are. You can see the pile is down there. I also chopped up a couple of those logs. This small pile right here is some of those. Those are going to be used for boiling sap in the spring or for fires out in the yard right now. But really the important thing for us is that back behind that coop right there, we had a bunch of maple logs that had gotten cut down when the logger had to get into the woods to get to the bad pines, and some of the pines that he did pull out to bring to the logger or to the mill. Those were hard to get to. I was doing them one at a time by using like basically a log jack, picking it up, cutting it, carrying the rounds out. Absolute back-breaking work. Takes forever. So one of the first things I did over the last week is get in there. I went around the backside, pulled the logs out one at a time, picked them up with the grapple, pulled them out with the grapple, but from the end, and then picked them up with the grapple, and then just brought them over here and stacked them. So there's some others in here, like a couple of birches that we cut down and stuff, but that pile was much bigger. You can see some of the rounds that are here. These are pretty big logs. This is size 11 boot, and it's way bigger than my foot. Same thing here. These are big logs, right? There's no way I could have picked that log up with my old tractor. It was just entirely too small. So picked them up, stacked them neatly. So this morning, brought the wife out, gave her a quick course on how to use the grapple. She already knew how to drive a tractor because of our old tractor. It's fairly similar. So she got in there, used the grapple. She was picking the logs up, and then I would take the chainsaw, come through and just, buck them up into these rounds. It went super fast. I didn't have to bend at all. My back completely appreciated it. It was great. You can see that some of these logs were kind of rotting. That's why they needed to come down. The chickens are finding all of the ant eggs in there. We have a bunch of carpenter ants in there, and the chickens just love coming through and picking at it. So that's what they're doing. There's a bunch under the splitter. But back to the tractor. The tractor worked terrific. The wife was out here with me for maybe an hour and a half. What would have taken me a couple days to do over there before with back-breaking work took me, maybe an hour and a half of cutting these logs into rounds and then piling them up. Super, super helpful. My back is going to be so much better for it. That alone, in my opinion, is worth the money of upgrading the tractor. Now, tractors aren't cheap, But, you know, getting your back repaired isn't cheap either. So one or the other. I guess we could just order wood, but I like being able to kind of provide my own. So these mounds over here were ones that I did previously. That one was done in the fall, as was that one. My dad helped me do that one. I did that one. And then, like I said, that was softwood that I did yesterday. But doing these way faster. You know, pick the log up, bucket up, put it into the rounds. Wife goes inside, she's done for that. I can then pick the rounds up, put them on the splitter, and fill them into some IBC totes. I did that IBC tote in maybe 30, 45 minutes. I don't know, something like that. Pretty fast. You know, just picking the rounds up, running them through the splitter, putting them in the tote. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep those in the totes. We're gonna put the totes inside the run-in sheds here, let them dry for 2 years. We've ordered 2 cords of wood for this winter. These should be close to dry enough by the end of the winter that's coming up next year or this year, that if we need them, we can use them. But the two cords that we're ordering will be completely dry to handle that. So these are for next year's wood mostly. All this is going to be next year's wood. What the goal is that we can get into the woods. This tractor is much bigger. It's much more capable. We can get into the woods and we can pull logs out, whereas I couldn't do that with my previous tractor. I wish I had known some of the limitations of the small tractor. When you get your first tractor, you know, looking at a small tractor, it looks less intimidating. It looks like it's going to be big enough, you know, it's strong. It can pick up, you know, 1,800 pounds or whatever in the bucket, and you're like, that should be plenty. But missing some of the features like the hydraulics in the front. Now you can add those on, but once again, the tractor was so light that if I put a log on there, it would have flipped over on me, you know, it would fall forward. Not a good deal. Nobody wants to deal with that. One other thing I do love about this is it's got the cab. So if we get in here, I'll come in, get away from those chickens for a minute. So if we get in here in the cab and close this up, what I can do is turn it on. I won't do it right now, but when we turn this on, it has air conditioning. So we sit in here and stay comfortable. The wife actually didn't need to have her coat or anything. You know, this morning it was a little cool. She didn't need a coat, and she didn't get hot once the sun came out. It was absolutely gorgeous. I was outside sweating, of course, but that's okay. You know, one of us was comfortable. So the controls are a little different in here. I don't know if you've ever used one of these, but this is a automatic. So my old one was a shift, was a gear, you know, like a stick shift car. This one, you don't need to do that. It has a forward and a reverse just built in. There are 3 speeds basically. So you have low, medium, and high, and then 2 neutrals, neutral between them. And then you control the speed of the tractor in its gear. So if you're in like medium gear, you can go from slower to faster with this. So it's got like a million gears basically, right? Because you can go here and on high, and then there's all of those that are over here. So, you know, depending upon how fast you want it to go, kind of like an infinite number. It has 4-wheel drive with the flip of a switch, which is nice. You can just click that button right there. See if I can see that. Yeah, and it'll turn on automatically. The gas tank actually must hold, I don't know how much gas it holds. I haven't looked that up. I think, if I remember right, it was like 10 gallons or something like that. But the diesel tank. So we've been running this for, you know, what, 7 hours now. And we've only used a quarter of a tank of gas. So that's pretty nice. So I just turned it on for a second. All the chickens ran away. The reason I wanted to turn it on is I would like some air conditioning. It's kind of warm out here. You can hear, I don't know if you can hear that, but it's definitely air conditioning going. So yeah, so we're really happy with the overall usage of this tractor so far. Super comfortable, very, very nice. Does a terrific job. It's really powerful. We picked up a log that I didn't think the tractor would be able to pick up. You know, this grapple, nice and smooth, works terrific. I was able to grab that log yesterday and move it around. The wife was able to pick it up this morning and put it, you know, on the grapple to hold basically while I chopped it up. And the tractor didn't miss a beat. It was no problem at all. And it's, you know, the grapple, when you get better with it, and I am getting a little better with it, it's, you know, good enough that you can even pick up like a single round over there and move it around if you needed to. I had one that was kind of heavy, and I was like, you know, I don't really want to move that. It rolled a little bit. So I just picked it up with the tractor and brought it over and dropped it. It's done a terrific job. So if you're on the fence about buying a tractor, I would say it doesn't matter if you go Kioti or Kubota or John Deere or Mahindra or TYM or whatever, right? Do your research, find out the dealers that are around you, find out the ones that have the features that you like, but always go bigger. I read that online before I bought mine, and I was like, I don't really think that I need to go that big. I really should have went bigger, right? I had a tractor for a year and a half that was functional, and like I said, I liked it. The Mahindra tractor was good, it did a good job, it worked for what I wanted it to do initially, but I just grew out of it quickly, and I'm happy that we were able to be in a position where we could get this one. They have pretty good deals right now where you can do like 0% financing if you needed to, because these are not inexpensive machines, right? If you're in that position where you need to do something like that, those are available. Or maybe like 1%, I think, depending on the model you buy. If you buy the smaller ones, I think it's 0%, and the larger ones are like 1% or whatever. Still much lower than inflation. But yeah, this is just a super nice machine. Really comfortable to drive, really comfortable to sit in. You know, we've got almost 10 hours in it, not a lot. As I said, you know, we're definitely not pushing like 100 hours or anything yet. But at the 7 hours that I've been sitting in here working this, because when we got it, it was less than, you know, I think it had 1/10 of an hour on it. You know, so 7 hours I've been sitting in here, and I don't have a single complaint about the interior of the machine or the power of the machine. Really, really comfortable, really, really nice to drive. The fact that you can get in and out on both sides, so like you can see here, there's a door on this side, and there's a door on this side. So I prefer to get on the left side, because on the right side we have the shifter, and you know, they're just kind of in the way. I don't want to press those on accident, but either way, you know, it's nice to have the option to be able to get out on the other side should you need it. I'm thinking if there's anything else that I could talk about in here. There's things like cruise control, and this is to control your automatic PTO. There's windshield wipers and lights. So you got rear windshield wiper, front windshield wiper. There's a windshield wiper there, and there's one there. So you got two windshield wipers. Defroster, maybe that'll come handy in the winter, but it's a rear defroster. You can see the lines in the window there. And then there's two sets of lights. There's rear lights and front facing lights. And the lights are both up at the top and at the bottom down there. So you have a lot of lights. I haven't used it at night yet, but I could see that being helpful. Once again, just kind of wanted to give a little overview of this. It really has done a terrific job for us, and we're really pleased with it so far. So if you're thinking about getting a tractor, I get no kickbacks or anything, but I would definitely say that these Kiotis are well made, they're comfortable, the attachments work great, everything seems to be of good quality. I haven't had any problems. My Mahindra, while I did like it, we had a problem with the gear. We lost reverse, basically. It just got stuck in what do you call it, in first gear. Couldn't get into reverse, couldn't get into second or third gear. We had that happen within like, I don't know, it was like 2 hours of buying it. And it took weeks to get it repaired. Now they did repair it, and it was under warranty, so that was nice, right? We were able to get it repaired for free. But still, I was out of the tractor for weeks while I waited for that, and it was a bad first impression. Once again, the Mahindra was great after that. I'm not saying that we had any other problems after that, but that was an experience that I wish we didn't have to go through. Whereas this Kioti, we haven't run into any of that. Now, once again, 7 hours. We'll see if it gets any worse, but right now it's all positive. I really like this machine. The wife was driving it this morning, and all she could say was, I love that. That is so fun, and it's so comfortable, right? Having an air conditioner to do outside work, or a heater to do outside work, is just amazing. There's really nothing better. So yeah, I just wanted to give you a quick review of the new tractor. I will say, many years ago, when we were owning our first house, my father-in-law was helping us rebuild our daughter's bedroom, and he mentioned that having the right tools makes every job easier, right? Like, and makes sense. It does make sense. I had never heard anybody say that before, but that is absolutely true, and it's proving to be true here. Having this tractor, and then having the log splitter, and having things lined up, just 1,000 times easier than doing stuff manually, right? And having the right tools makes things just easier, makes it better. So if you're on the fence or thinking about getting a tractor, you know, consider one of these. This is a very nice tractor. I'm really enjoying it. I'll give more updates if anything changes, but for right now, we're super happy with it. It's a Kioti NS 4710. It's a 47 horsepower, you know, pretty powerful tractor that we have here. Now, for small home owners, right? If I was on a farm, this is probably like a little baby. But we don't have a big farm. I don't have 100 acres of corn to plow or anything like that. So yeah, we're really enjoying it. Hope you found this to be somewhat interesting. If you enjoy learning about our tractors and our homestead and animals, you know, like our meat chickens that are in here in the chicken tractor right now, or our egg layers or our pigs, feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. Click the little bell and you'll get notified every time we post updates. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great one. Thanks for watching.